Hi, Cynthia. My name is John Santori. I'm calling from the Barack Obama campaign, and I wanted to give you a call to see if you were interested in volunteering with us.
Ordinary citizens can have enormous influence in what happens in Washington. The problem is they're just not organized right now. And so those who are organized, the corporations, the special interests, the big lobbies, they have a disproportionate influence. And part of what hopefully this campaign is about is to tilt the scales a little bit more in favor of ordinary people.
The challenge we have in front of us is 5.5 weeks to do what in South Carolina took us 10 months. So there's a lot of work ahead, but it starts with us building relationships, sharing our stories, and finding leaders in the community. Ashley, would you mind telling your story? Standing up, telling your story.
My mom got sick when I was 9 and had cancer. And at that point, she ended up losing her job, even though she worked her ass off. When she lost her job, she obviously lost her health care as well. So now my mom was left with cancer and 2 kids, and we didn't have the money to pay for it. So now we were hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt because cancer is expensive, as you would guess. We filed medical bankruptcy. So at that point, I kind of noticed at 9 years old, you can kind of tell, even though my mom really tried to hide it, that we were kind of sinking fast. I looked around and saw the one thing that ended up costing the most, and that's food. I convinced my mom that I really liked relish and mustard sandwiches because I felt like condiments are cheap and bread's cheap. So that's what I did for a little while until my mom got better. I went on to college and I was studying film production. And in 2004, I went out canvassing. And I was canvassing in the poorest area in my county. And this little kid ran after me. And he started telling me all this stuff about his family and how, he wanted Carrie to win because it was going to make a difference for him. And his mom, who was working 3 jobs, and he was taking care of his brother and sister after school every day as a 9-year-old. Think about this kid, he's back home. That was his hope. And so the next day I went to school and changed my major to political science because I realized, it wasn't just me as a 9-year-old trying to help my mom. It was another kid trying to help his mom, and there's millions of children around doing the same thing. So I guess that's kind of my story and why I'm here today.
So when we tell our stories, it tells people who we are and why we're here. To build the relationships, to develop the leaders, to create the teams that can sustain this movement beyond Inauguration Day. That's why we're here in Pennsylvania. We have this great opportunity to build a grassroots network.
Well, a lot of people don't know what a community organizer is, and in fact, I didn't know what a community organizer was entirely when I became one. I had been inspired by the civil rights movement and the idea of people working at a grassroots level to bring about change, to get people involved in shaping their own destiny. It's something that I carry with me when I think about politics today, obviously at a different level and in a different place, but the same principles still apply. If you've got a lot of people organized to vote, if you've got people who are raising money in small increments, $25, $50, you can actually match the power of corporations and lobbies to actually influence what's going on in a place like Washington.
But yeah, so I knew what community organizing was, but I didn't realize how powerful it could be. I didn't realize that was like the fundamental building block of a movement, was a community organizer.
There's a difference. Like, there's a campaign and then there's a movement, and I think this is a movement. It's not about Barack Obama the man, it's about what he offers for us to be able to do things, go down precinct to precinct, block to block, which Barack talks about, is literally what we're doing.
In Mississippi, we talked to so many people, and we just knew that they weren't registered, and they really, really wanted to show their support, but they couldn't. So I'm excited to have a chance to nip that in the butt before we have to stare people in the eyes who really want to vote and won't be able to.
I think it's more of a movement allowing people to get involved and giving the power to the people. We're allowing people to go into their churches, talk to their communities, use their networks to build this campaign. It's changing politics. It allows the average person to change politics.
I believe that change comes not from the top down, but from the bottom up. And we saw that in South Carolina and some of our other state organizations, identifying local leadership and giving them the tools they need to organize their own communities and their own friends and their own co-workers. That's the way that organizing should work. It means that whatever organizing we do outlasts the particular political campaign. It means that you now have a set of relationships and networks that have been built, and hopefully those people will feel empowered then to work on other campaigns and other efforts to improve the lives of communities.
Yeah, we had to register 25 voters today.
At least.
At least 25 voters in
We're going to shoot for like 40, even though it's raining
in
out.
2 hours now.
Easily.
Okay, we got 2 hours to register 25 voters. It's fine.
Yeah, we can do it.
It's great.
Easily. We got it.